Hi, this is Cheney Crab from Entheos.
Hey, this is Landfill from Municipal Waste, Iron Reagan, Cannabis Corpse, and Morbicon.
This is Dallas from Narcotic Wasteland.
Hey, this is Danny Rodriguez from Through the Eyes of the Dead.
Hey, this is Steve from 200 Stab Wounds, and you're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast. Check it out.
The Metal Debate Podcast returns with another amazing metal artist interview. Today I'm joined by Danny and Tim from Alukah. Thank you guys for joining us on the Great Metal Debates.
Sure thing, man. Great to be here. Great to be here.
So we're here at Drkmttr in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys are starting a short but pretty exciting run of shows. This is the first night of the tour. Do you guys have some first night jitters? What's the feeling going into it?
I'm ready to get it done, you know. Well, I'm excited, you know. I'm glad to be here in Nashville. This is our first time playing here in Nashville, actually. So we're pretty pumped to kick some butt. Yeah.
I feel like I always get the jitters right when we're loading in, just because I want to make sure everything's like set up and everything's like moving according to plan. But we just got to that point where it seems like it is now, so I'm settled and I'm ready to play and I'm excited. Yeah.
Well, I was watching some of your sound check and you guys were pretty focused in, wanting to make sure you had everything set up and get ready for that live performance.
Oh yeah. We always want to make sure that we are pretty warmed up before the actual set, and you know, make sure nothing goes wrong. But you know, we just love playing music, so you know, our focus is just natural to us.
And what's the thought process? I mean, you said this is your first time in Nashville. I'm assuming a number of these places would be your first time, a kind of a surprise each time you pull up to the venue, like not knowing what the stage size is going to be, how the promoter's going to treat you. It must be some excitement, but also trepidation going into the evenings.
Yeah, well, luckily I was the promoter for this one technically, so I already knew how I was going to treat myself. But yeah, definitely coming to a new venue for the first time, you never know what you're going to see until you get in the room, and then you're like, oh, there's the stage, okay, and then you start picturing it in your head in a way like, okay, the bands can set up here, you know, this is probably where we're going to be standing at the time we perform, all that good stuff, and it comes together. But yeah.
And you guys are on the road with Visitant. How did this tour and how did the collaboration with that band come together?
So I kind of got the idea to start kind of moving us away from doing longer runs for a little bit and doing these more short runs, and I wanted to break them into different regions. So we just got done with kind of a like northeast run with our friends in Knights of Malice, and kind of when I was booking that, I was also talking to Chelsea because I knew she had a lot of roots here in Nashville and around like the Carolinas, and she was like, well, I actually want to go out with my new band Visitant, and we're going to be starting to put some music out, and would you be down to tour with us? And I was like, yes, absolutely, that sounds like a great idea. And we just started putting it together, you know, like looking up venues, kind of bands we wanted to kind of like curtail to these shows, and it all kind of came together. It wasn't overnight. It definitely took a couple weeks to a couple months, but here we are, and we're excited to kind of put on this run of shows. It's going to be fun.
And so, as someone who's not seen you all perform live, just give me a little foretaste. I mean, what am I in for this evening when I see you all hit the stage?
Lots of colors, power, melodic. Tim, finish off.
I mean, you had. It's interesting because I think a lot of different bands that I enjoy from very different genres might use those words to describe their sound.
Yeah. So, especially with some of these newer songs, there's a lot more of an emphasis on like different emotions, different colors, a lot more melody. I'm heavily inspired by like European melodeath and power metal, so I feel like a lot of that influence started to kind of ooze into these like last couple of songs, and it's been pretty cool to see. But with that, we've also kind of infused it with our roots of like very like aggressive, almost deathcore sounding like brutality. So there's going to be a lot of headbanging, a lot of windmills, and a lot of breakdowns too. It's going to be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you think there'll be some moshing going on? You think there'll be a circumpit?
We hope so. We see a lot of people have fun, they'll mosh, do the hardcore dancing, swinging their fists and stuff like that. And hey, if we see that, that means we're doing something right?
Now, I've been to this venue, Drkmttr, a number of times for shows. I never know what to expect. I've been here where it's full capacity. I've also been here where there's like 12 people, and that includes the bands playing. As a band coming in, like, how do you deal with that? And when you take the stage, how does that affect your performance when you see a big group of folks versus maybe just a smattering of people in the audience?
Honestly, it doesn't affect us at all. We just love to play live. We play like there's thousands of people out there, and if there's 8 people that want to watch us, and we're going to give them the best show we can, honestly.
That's right. I feel like we've always adopted this mentality where we're going to give it our all as soon as we go on stage, no matter if there are like 8 members of the bands hanging out and watching us, or if we have a full capacity show. We give it our all. We love to play, and we're going to be sure to do that tonight, no matter what.
Well, I'll be banging my head no matter how many people are there with you guys. So if you don't mind, for folks who aren't familiar, give us a little thumbnail sketch of the history of how the band came together.
So the band came together by our frontman RJ Bunda, and I joined. Yeah, I ended up joining about a year later, and we've been touring since 2017. The band formed in 2015, and then we just started touring since 2017 until now. The first record was more like deathcore-y, just power-driven. Our second full-length record, Descending, was a little bit melodic, but it was still pretty heavy-hitting. We kind of just went over everywhere, you know, doing more melodic stuff, a little other colorful creativity, but we still had the power of Alukah. What is our sound? That's a really good question. You know, it's just power and melodic stuff, but yeah, we've been doing this for a good while and we love it.
I am curious because I've listened to your all's music, and I'll agree you guys kind of pull from a bunch of different places. Do you ever get pushback from that? I noticed you guys may have been blacklisted for Metal Archives, so I didn't know. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't know. I think we're on Metal Archives, but I don't know if it's...
We're actually not.
We're not?
I am from a side project I was in, and my old band, but not directly from Alukah. I'm not entirely sure what could have gotten us blacklisted, but, you know, it's all good to me. Maybe we'll make it back on there one day, maybe we won't. It's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you never know. Maybe one day you'll get on Metal Archives, dude.
There's some good bands who, for whatever reason, aren't on there, but I do feel like you guys, you explore a lot of different themes and again, different colors and sounds, so will I get a fair smattering of that in the performance tonight?
Oh, tonight, most definitely. You're gonna bang your head for sure. 100%. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna feel good.
If you don't mind, also, do you mind talking a little bit about some of your influences, maybe some of the bands that you guys have listened to and enjoy that have led you towards some of the sounds that you produce?
So growing up for me, I think like the biggest influence on me taking the guitar really seriously was Children of Bodom. When I started listening to them in about, I want to say like 2007, that kind of like jump-started me like taking the instrument really seriously, and from there I got into like In Flames, more Principium-esque, but then also a lot of European power metal like Stratovarius, Blind Guardian, and things of that nature too. So I got more into the shreddy melodic side of things, but then also a lot of like more traditional deathcore and metalcore. Like I really love After the Burial and Whitechapel and Fit for an Autopsy and bands like that as well.
How about you?
So it's funny, I am a huge Rush nerd. Neil Peart is my favorite drummer in the world. Don't know if you can hear that in some of the songs, but I tried to put a little bit of elements in there. I'm a huge Metallica fan too. I love Lars Ulrich. If anybody wants to argue with me on that one, but you know, Lars Ulrich back in the 80s, he was pretty damn good in my opinion. And just, Children of Bodom and all the, like, big, heavy bands. I mean, that's basically my main influences, I guess, what I give into the band. And I try to serve the music what it deserves, basically. But, yeah, those are basically the two main influences. The other ones, again, you know, it's like Children of Bodom, maybe a little bit of Lamb of God, Chris Adler, great drummer. Yeah. If RJ was here, he would tell you all the influences. Oh, there he is. So, but we just have influences everywhere, honestly. And I think it's pretty healthy to have that. And we can just put it in one big pot and just boil it, and see what comes up.
And it's always interesting to me when I talk with different artists that many times the influence, their biggest influences aren't necessarily genre-wise exactly the same, but you're able to take some of those different sounds and approaches and reimagine them into a new and different style.
Absolutely. I feel like that's kind of like what my goal for some of these newer songs has been. Kind of the philosophy I have is like, what if Blind Guardian covered a Heaven Shall Burn song, or the opposite? What if, which actually Heaven Shall Burn did cover Valhalla by Blind Guardian, and it's awesome. That's kind of like my mentality when it comes to like writing some of these riffs. I want it nice and like thrashy and melodic, but also super crushing and heavy as well at the same time.
I see you're wearing the Buc-ee's cap.
Yeah.
You guys have alluded to the fact that you've had some longer stints on the road. It doesn't seem like you all will have much time for fun, but when you're on the road, are there specific things you like to do, like stopping at Buc-ee's, or are there some places you just have to stop?
Buc-ee's for sure. It's a great place to stretch your ligaments. But you know, we try to keep each other in hand on the road. You know, like it took us 10 hours to get here from where we are. So we just.
And that's Maryland?
Yep, Southern Maryland. Yep. So yeah, to keep us entertained, you know, we just tell jokes, or we just listen to music. We stop at Buc-ee's or any other resting stops, and even sometimes we'll just stop at the truck stops, spend the night there, and then, you know, we'll just do a hotel now and then, and, you know, that's basically, we're pretty simple. We're pretty boring guys, actually. But we know how to keep each other entertained, you know. We're pretty simple. We don't need a lot to entertain us when we're on the road, you know. It's just life, and, you know, just make the best of it when you're hours away from home, you know. Yeah.
You mentioned being from Maryland. Tell me a little bit about the music scene in your old local community. Is it, especially, you know, I think coming out of COVID, different communities and different folks I talk to have different experiences about the health of the scene, different venues, bands that haven't survived, and just a lot of them have told me that whatever the difference is, the vibe is kind of different.
So something I've noticed is we don't have quite as many small venues as we used to, but a lot of like smaller restaurants have started popping up and having shows, which I've noticed is kind of interesting. Like, and that's kind of where these 100 cap and below shows are starting to happen. But as far as Maryland goes, we've had a lot of great bands in the death metal and extreme metal scene come out of there. Like, obviously you have bands like Periphery and Animals as leaders that came out of like the DC area, but then you've also got bands like Grey Lotus and Wormhole and Exist, who are from more of the Baltimore area, who have started to kind of pop off in the recent years, and now they're all getting signed and going on major tours, and it's really awesome to see. So I'd say, and on top of that, we have this thing called Maryland Death Fest, which just happened.
Heard of it? Yeah.
And so every year, it's like all these bands that almost never come to America congregate downtown at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, and they play this very extreme set of metal, and it's something to see. So I'd say the scene in Maryland is alive and well, and it's awesome.
That's great to hear. I don't always hear that from different folks I talk to, so good to hear it's thriving there. Let's get into a few quick hitter questions before we wrap up with you. For each of you, what's the best concert you've ever attended?
Okay, so for me, it was 2008. There's this really tiny venue in Baltimore called the Drkmttr, and I saw The Faceless. They were playing Planetary Duality, it just came out. Then Cynic, they had just dropped Trace and Air, and then Meshuggah was headlining with Obzen. It was, I want to say, probably like a 600 capacity venue, and it was just vibrating the entire night once Meshuggah took the stage, and that is, without a question, the best concert I've ever been to in my life.
My favorite concert is, yes and again, it's Rush. The Snake and Arrows tour, the Clockwork Angels tour, the Time Machine tour, and the R40 tour. I attended all 4 Rush concerts before they retired. I am extremely happy. The best shows I've ever attended, and there's that, yeah.
And what's your go-to fast food on the road? McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts? What's the place?
I think it's been Dunkin' Donuts every morning, almost.
Yeah.
Fast food places. What a lot of fast food places. Taco Bell,
you can't go wrong, dude.
You can't go wrong.
Today was Buc-ee's. Man, pretty much anything really. If we stop at like a Pilot or a Love's, that's our food for the night or something like that. But if during the daytime, we'll either hit up like a local joint, or we'll do McDonald's, Taco Bell, or Dunkin' Donuts yet again.
On a special day, we'll do a Denny's on occasion.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with
Denny's.
Denny's.
Sit down food.
Yeah, that's right.
All
Yeah.
24/7 there. If you lived in prehistoric times, would you be a hunter or a gatherer?
I'd want to be a hunter. That sounds cool. Like, because you'd probably be hunting all kinds of like extinct animals and stuff like that, and that would probably be pretty insane. So like hunting saber-toothed tigers or like, some of those like giant mammoths or whatever, that would be a really cool time, I feel like. So I'd want to do that.
Nice. Better to be the hunter than the hunted, I guess.
Exactly.
And would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
God. One horse-sized duck. Let's go.
Man. Braver man than me. And final question for either of you. What happens when we die?
I hope it's a Rush concert.
That was good.
So beginning to wrap up with you guys, following tonight's show and the week-long-ish tour, what are the band's plans for the remainder of the year, and including potentially a new record with this new music?
Right. So we just announced a short run we're going to be doing in August with our friends from New England in the band of Versed. We're going to be hitting Maryland, New York, Connecticut, and ending in Boston. That's going to be a fun time. After that, well, in between now and that, we're going to be trying to finish up writing our new record, and then hopefully later in the fall we'll be getting into the studio and recording that, so it'll hopefully be coming out next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And final question, what is the best way for people to purchase music and merchandise from the band?
So we have our Shopify account.
We do.
Yeah, we have the Alukah Shopify account. And then we also have our music on streaming services on Spotify and Apple Music, as well as YouTube. You can look us up on YouTube because we have music videos on there too. What else? What am I missing?
All the sites like Apple, Deezer,
Apple, Deezer,
all the big ones. You know what I mean?
Look up Alukah and you'll be able to find something. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, first time to see you guys tonight, and I'm so looking forward to it. You'll see me right down front, all right?
Appreciate you coming out and hanging out, man. Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
And good luck on the rest of the tour.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome.